Hello, I'm Chelsea Smith. I'm one of a few that are kind of heading a program we're trying to start up to redo a few or all of the playground equipment. As members of Fairbury who have children or younger siblings who live here, we feel like a few of the equipment, even though it's okay by state standards, it's not really safe for our children by our standards. So we feel as a community that we should band together and replace equipment like the swing set, which is not only not handicap accessible but also doesn't have swings for children or infants. Also, some of the main pieces on the swing set are rusting and squeak. And the seats of the swing set are actually so old that when you flip them, they keep the shape that they are when they're the correct way. Because the slide's bottom is metal, it not only dents, but it also gets very hot in the summer heat. So it's easy to burn when kids are always wearing shorts in the summer. It's easy to burn legs. I have had friends who have gotten their children hurt because of the metal, the rubber shoes of their soles of their shoes stick to the metal. And also the stairs that they climb up are narrow and rusted. The dome in the middle of the park, the pieces are bent and uneven and unsafe for children under the age of, we would say, 4 years old, just because they're unsteady. And the main connection points with the bolts are also rusted. The large, like we call it the red spider, but it's the climbing spider in the park, is high. So it's also unsafe for young children, and because it's metal, it's been painted over to make it look good again, but profanity and markings get scratched in the paint, which is not appropriate for young children in the park. The rocket ship, again, is rusting at a few of the connection points, which we feel is unsafe for the children. And the spring, which holds the rocking animal up in the air, is also rusting, along with the bolts. Again, here are just the main reasons that we go through. That it's rusting, that even though we know that it's safe by standards, you wouldn't allow children to play on it, we feel it's unsafe. It's not handicap accessible, which we feel is important. And we also feel that the children on the northeast end of town don't have a park to go to other than the one that's all the way down at the fun park.
I thank you for an excellent presentation, and living in that part of town, I appreciate where you're coming from. When our grandchildren come to visit, the young kids will go up to the school, but the playground equipment again is for third to sixth grade and down to the city park. Number one, I like to take them down there, and it is not wheelchair accessible at all. To try to even get in there, last time I had to call my wife to come drag me out because I got stuck in the thing. And so I appreciate what you're saying, and I personally support you 100%.
Okay, it's a specific foundation only for parks in Nebraska and western Iowa, northwestern Iowa, and they I can't remember all of the points because it's a very lengthy process to get this funding, but you have to be a nonprofit, tax-exempt organization, and if you raise up to 50% of your budget, they give you a certain percentage. So there's been a lot of parks in this local, not exactly in Jefferson County, but in several of the counties surrounding us, that have gotten $10,000, $7,000, you know, quite a bit of money for their project they're doing.
I'll have to say, when I heard the numbers, 100 grand, kind of turned my head.
You know what? It turned our head when we started looking at these things, and you know, we would think this thing could cost, a piece of park equipment would cost $5,000, and it ends up being 14 in these books. We're hoping that these are like pieces they have made for other parks. So it's not exactly like if we picked that same piece that all those pieces would be there, it wouldn't be exactly that much money. But we're working with some companies, but they have told us you really need approval. We can't really start working with you unless we know we're going to get a park out of this.
So are you looking to replace piece for piece or add some new stuff or what?
Our concept is we want to get rid of the equipment that's there. If there are salvageable pieces, we want to salvage it. We don't want to spend oodles of money just to spend oodles of money because we know we can't. But we want to get a park that's worth the bang for that park. The fun park got redone years ago. The McNish hasn't been touched other than repainted for years.
So do they have like a package deal? You get for 60 grand, you get this park.
Yeah, that's the concept, but you have to have like an idea of a few pieces you want. You can't just say, here's my money, give me what I want, because you have to have a concept.
We want to do like a piece for like younger, like 2 to 5, and then another piece that's like one of our catalogs have different age groups for each piece. So we want one from like 2 to 5, one from like 5 to 12, and then we'd like to also have a special area just for accessible.
Will this take up more land than you already are?
No.
Exact same piece of land.
There might be a different configuration. I mean, all those pieces are spread out in kind of an oval shape, and ours won't be that same kind of shape. And we also want to add a good-sized shelter for picnic tables, for people to have picnics, some benches, stuff like that. We want it to be like, we know a lot of families that go and use the disc golf, and they have children. So we want a place for them to go play disc golf and for their kids to go play on some fun equipment. I've been on that equipment when I was 5 years old. You know, that's several years ago. I can't see my sister. My sister loves that place. She calls it her Terabithia. But it's not because of the park equipment. It's because of the trees and the area.
Right.
I want her to go there to go play with the park equipment, to have fun, to run around, to go on the slide, to swing, to be what a 7-year-old should be.
So tell me this, when did this whole thing start?
A month and a half ago?
And who was the brainchild behind it? Heather.
On a Facebook status.
Yes. I just decided one day that, like, whenever I take my son Drayton down there, he is not interested in it the least bit. And he is almost 2. So I know that he is not the only kid in town that is not interested in it. So, I don't know, if I get an idea in my head, then I think, like, you know, I'm like, I want new playground equipment, I think we should do that.
Anybody have experience doing something like this?
No.
We, I actually called Kay Onin, who, she's the one that headed up the fun park and all that. So she's offered to help us where we need her help.
So you have a mentor.
Yes. And she will be used greatly.
That's great.
We would have been more prepared, but I'm in Connecticut, and for us to get together for create something like this just isn't, it comes around twice a year maybe. So this meeting just happened to fall when I was going to be home. We thought, let's get into city council, let's get this project known, you know, let's get some we really want the mayor behind it, because we hope that hopefully we can get Mayor Ward approved McNish Park project, that some people are going to be like, what is this park project that's happening in town? And get some people behind it, because we know we're not nearly prepared for fundraisers. We're not nearly prepared to start signing off for grants. We are right now in the current process of the support and getting it known and, you know, getting the public ready to say, hey, this is coming up. You know, the park's going to be redone. We want people to get excited and think, oh, this is going to be something different, something cool. Let's get behind this project.
Okay. One last thing. Can I get you to say your name into the camera and any contact info?
There we go. I am Heather McClure, and my phone number is 239-4019, and my email address is heathermcclure83@yahoo.com.
I am Chelsea Smith. My number is 203-814-7999, and my email is c_smith_47@yahoo.com.
My name is Rachel Nyman. My phone number is 308-280-0014. My email is rnyman@dialcom.net.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.